All right, everybody, welcome back to the Move podcast, brought to you each and every day this year by Ventum Bikes. My road bike, my NS1, gravel bike, GS1, both of them are just amazing. Special offer for our listeners, 10% off right now with the code WEDO at ventumracing.com/themove. They will deliver the bike directly to your door. If it's not there within 3 weeks, another 10% off. That's a total of 20. See that math I just did, Jay?
I like it.
I like it. Head on over to ventumracing.com, and as we do a few times every week, if you tag at Ventum Racing and at WeDo.team on Instagram, tell us about your ride of the day. Today we have Pat Swana.
Love that pick.
That pick is insane. Pat Swana says, it's winter here and the days are cold and way too short, but he's, by the way.
Where's here?
Yeah, exactly. He's in Melbourne.
Oh.
I always wanted to go to Melbourne. You know?
I'm going in May.
But riding to work in the dark gives me these beautiful sunrise views and also the opportunity to exercise I otherwise probably wouldn't get. Hospital work is stressful and busy at the moment with way too many patients and not enough staff, so these moments of beauty are so important. Pat Swana, that's awesome. Thanks for your service.
Healthcare worker? Ooh.
Yeah, I know. In this day and age. We were talking about stage 14. Alain?
Stage 14 from Saint-Étienne to Mende, from Saint-Étienne to Mende.
I always say Mende. Monde.
Been saying it wrong the whole time.
Yeah. Incredible ride by Michael Bling Matthews. Second stage win for Bike Exchange. You know, I mean, the tour made for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Like we mentioned yesterday, the fastest guy in the bunch is always one of the most marked guys, even though today was an uphill finish. But for him to attack solo with 50K to go, in my mind, I was thinking, what are you doing? Like, you're wasting all this energy. Clearly, he was on an unbelievable day. Must have been feeling amazing. And what he did on that final climb was incredible to watch. Super fun.
And we have a cool voice memo from his director, our old teammate, Matthew White. Really cool to hear just his inside perspective and what it means for the team, what it means for Bling Matthews. Super exciting. Today's show also brought to you by Roca. Rob and his crew down in Austin, Texas, JB and I's hometown. I think this is the coolest eyewear out there. Not just on the sunglass side, but the prescription side. Thank God I found my readers after a really unfortunate 4th of July. But
yeah, you've been scarred by that too. Last night I was like trying to borrow him. You're like, give him back. I'm like, bro, I'm not taking your readers. I just need him for a second.
No, it's very personal.
It was 12 days ago, and you're still rebounding.
I am. It was rough on me, man. But the weight of them, the optics, the no slip, all of it. It's just amazing. They are, and you got some new ones.
New ones. These are called the Rory, Rory.
Wow,
I like them.
Rory McIlroy, second in the Open, currently right behind Victor Hovland. Here's the deal. Head on over to Roca. That's ROKA.com. That's Roca.com. 20% off for our listeners if you use the checkout code THEMOVE. Also today brought to you by Element. Check this out. This is our go-to hydration source. It's heating up in Aspen. Yesterday I was sweating like a pig, but fortunately I had my Element on the ride. 1,000 milligrams of sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, 60 milligrams of magnesium, no sugar, no gluten, no artificial BS. It is the real deal. Check this out. Also, offer for our listeners, head on over to drinklmnt.com/themove and you get this free sample pack so you can try all the different flavors, figure out which one you like the best, dial in your hydration. Again, that's drinklmnt.com/themove. Dude, that was an exciting race.
Absolutely.
This climb, there's a couple things stand out for me. Very hot again.
Super hot. They said it was like a furnace.
I mean, we sound like a broken record because the two things keep happening. Very hot stages and super fast. I mean, just over 44 kilometers an hour on a course that had in total more than 10,000 feet of climbing.
Yeah. Well, you saw how hard it was. As soon as Jumbo lifted the pace just slightly when they realized that Menkes, I'm probably saying it wrong, South African rider, was getting close to getting the yellow jersey. They lifted the pace, and instantly on the Category 3 climb, a sort of an uneventful climb, there's like 25 guys left in the bunch.
Yeah.
On a mid-mountain day, you don't really ever see that. That indicates how hard the race is thus far and how hot it is. These guys are just blowing up.
I remember, JB, you should ask Johan on JB Squared about this stage. I remember It was probably the Tour de France 1995, just showing my age. Indurain, the big favorite, Once, the big Spanish team, which Johan was on, was just a complete pain in his ass. Got him totally isolated. Indurain on this stage was, this part of France is that hard. He lost his whole team. And I will never forget it. Indurain was the favorite of to win his 5th tour. He had to go to the front and pull by himself to try and bring back, and actually didn't achieve it. But Once rode a perfect team race. Jalabert won the stage. The fucking guy wins one stage there, and they named the hill after him. How's that go? But it's called the Monte Jalabert now. But you never see a guy like Indurain so desperate and so isolated that he had to pull by himself. Yeah, that part of the France is so hard.
And who's doing that today? Wout van Aert. He sat on the front for 25K, it seemed like, on his own, not getting any help from his teammates. The guy is just a freaking motorbike.
The guy is, I don't know. With Van der Poel, and again, not to go down this rabbit hole, but with Van der Poel seeming to be in a bad period of his season or his career, Wout van Aert, pound for pound, is the greatest bike racer in the world.
Yeah.
Better, by far.
We're starting to see little things that I feel like Johan and myself were questioning. Even Jumbo, they're dominating the race right now. They're controlling the race. But today, for instance, why go so hard on that Category 3 climb and blow up Primoz and most of their guys when they have a huge downhill valley section before that finish climb? You want to get there with the numbers, even if it's just for psychological reasons to show you still have the strength. And instead, they got there with 2 or 3 guys, and UAE had 3 guys. So there's just a lot of strange tactical things going on that I'm having a hard time understanding right now.
Yeah.
More on Michael Matthews. Is that boomstick worthy, his effort today?
I think so. Hold on. We're giving Bling the boomstick. We're going to rename it today the Bling stick.
The Bling stick.
And he wins in the neck tat.
Yeah.
Y'all catch the neck tat?
No.
Believe. Just right down the side there.
Well, apparently he says that to his teammates all the time. But he had the confidence today. He's a world-class sprinter. Let's not forget that. And he hit that last climb, 3 kilometers long at 10%, went straight into the front, dropped his breakaway companions who were amazing climbers. What's the guy's name? He almost won the stage the other day. Sanchez?
Yeah, Luis Leon
Sanchez. And the Austrian guy, popped them off the wheel, went solo. And the best part was Bettiol was coming like a machine. We thought Bettiol had this in the bag.
And looked in control. Like if so many times we look at riders' faces to see the level of suffer. Yes. I'm like, this guy's not suffering. He's going away.
Let's not forget, he came from 40 seconds back. He had Uran behind him. He had some help to come back to Matthews. But flew right past Matthews, and I feel like Matthews did the little rope-a-dope.
He did.
1K to go. Matthews looks like he's getting popped, but he held him there at 3 to 5 seconds and sort of clawed his way back. Now I'm thinking he's just going to wait for the sprint because Matthews isn't a world-class sprinter. But I actually asked Matt White about it, and he said Bettiol actually beat him in a sprint in Switzerland, so he didn't want to arrive at the sprint with him, so went off right before the KOM. And there's no better feeling in the entire world than to win a Tour de France stage solo. And this guy is a dream come true for him. 4th stage win.
And that style of a finish for a sprinter.
Sure. Let's just show the finish. This is cool too because they finish on the runway at the top of Munda. And as an aspiring aviator, I love this. So this runway is 4,600 feet, and when you're coming into land, you ask for clearance. Say clear to land. Clear to land. Runway 12. Bling Matthews. Look at that. Wow. Look, wind's just going away.
I like the runway finish. This is, I think, the second one we've seen just in this tour. But the crowds are lean, compared to finishing in a town.
They are, but you saw the crowds on the climb. We talked about it yesterday. That climb always attracts just a shit ton of people. It's so cool.
And the evacuation after the finish line is a nightmare. We've been there. It's just really hard to get out of there. So the fans were mainly on the way up the climb, which we got to point out that yellow road. They painted the whole road yellow, which is something you don't really see ever.
No,
that's kind of cool. And
also a really bad idea. I think it very rarely rains in the summertime in this part of France. I think it's any sort of moisture on a painted road, fresh paint, when it's that steep.
Steep.
Dear God.
Yeah, not good.
Zero traction.
One of the things
we should play before you ask that question. Since we're talking about the finish, we should play what Matthew White said.
Well, I love it. Yeah. And George continues to come through despite being down further and further in the water bottle competition. He's trying hard. The guy's not giving up. He gets a really kick-ass voice memo from Matt White. Let's play it.
All right, let's play it.
Right after the finish, too.
Right after the finish.
Yeah, mate, that was a very, very special win. Look, yesterday was disappointing, but you got to turn things around quick, and the boys certainly did. Not many people would have backed Michael Matthews to win a stage like that, but we knew if the scenario was right, if the gap was big enough, and then, like old Chente Garcia says, fuga la fuga, you got to be up the road to win that, because obviously Michael's not the best climber in that group, but what a ride he had. And we had Matt Heyman behind him there today, giving some great instructions, and Bling pulled off one of the biggest wins of his career. He's one of those guys that over the years he's changed. He's still fast, but he's one of those guys. He's one of those guys that as he's got older, his aerobic capacity and his endurance has just improved year by year. And all of us here are very, very proud of that win. And what a 13 days we had. More to come.
Amen to that.
That's
More
crazy.
to come.
Thank you, Whitey.
For a team like that, facing relegation, to be, 2 weeks into the tour, having 2 stage wins, massive.
All right. Well, we need to define for our viewers what exactly does fuga la fuga mean, because I feel like that should be a T-shirt. Our new T-shirt should be that.
Fuga la fuga with the little I, the U, thing over the U.
Fuga la fuga.
What is it?
But it's different than figa. But
so fuga is breakaway.
Fuga la fuga, and to quote the great Chente Garcia.
Yeah.
I mean, Chente was a guy. Speaking of Indurain, was on Benesto with Indurain for many years. Had a massive engine, was just too big. But fuga la fuga means like breakaway from the breakaway, I think.
Yeah.
Is that right?
Yep.
One of the things
in Italian, fuga means breakaway.
Okay.
So Cipollini, we would always, when these guys would always attack from kilometers here, he'd get so pissed off. And tranquilo, and then he'd get so pissed.
Throw
he'd be like,
bottles at you.
Yeah, throw shit at you, and then he'd be like, "Oh, vai en fuga." And he's just going to fucking breakaway, going to breakaway.
Yeah, so, I mean that's what these guys are doing now. They're fuga in la fuga because they want to just minimize the people that they're racing against and have more control. And he went solo, got bridged up by 3 guys. We got to point out Lotto is on this crazy bad luck train right now. Poor guy was in the break, in the final move. Who knows what he could have done? But front flat, and he's out of the breakaway. Race over.
Speaking of Lotto, and for the amount of bad luck Caleb Ewan seems to be having this Tour de France, he was in pretty good spirits on his Instagram yesterday. I got a real kick out of this. It slid into my DMs.
Riding in a car.
Right here.
Lance Armstrong?
Yes.
How did he know? The jersey. Good luck. Thank you.
So for those listening and not watching, so I don't know what he's doing. He's in the team card, right? And some guy rolls up in a postal kit and he puts down his window.
So I actually asked him about it. Apparently, whenever they see guys in old school jerseys, they'll point out, Lance Armstrong,
rider from that
or a
era.
rider from that era, and that's like their running joke of the Tour de France. It's the little things that make the tour entertaining, y'all. You got to find these little things that you laugh about. But I need to point out also this Krohn guy, the guy who flatted, Danish guy as well. Obviously, the Danish guys have the momentum right now. He was in the final move, just a totally devastating bad luck moment for him. Too bad that he couldn't make it to the final with those guys.
Damn. Today's show also brought to you by Athletic Greens. Take control of your health. I know that I have my I try to eat well, but I don't eat fruits and vegetables like I should. I have solved it with Athletic Greens. 75 high-quality vitamins, minerals, whole food source superfoods, probiotics, and adaptogens. You know what an adaptogen is?
No idea.
No, I know you don't.
I do know I hit 2 scoops of that just before the show started.
Yeah,
so.
I thought he was a doctor.
Dr. Adaptogen. But seriously, take control of your health. Less than $3 a day. Let's make it easy. Athletic Greens is going to give you a free 1-year supply of immune-supporting vitamin D and 5 free travel packs with your first purchase. All you have to do is visit athleticgreens.com/themove. That's athleticgreens.com/themove. Today also brought to you by HVMN. We talk about it almost every day. And it's just so relevant, right? So much of the 60% of this peloton is on the ketone train. You know what ketones are, right?
Absolutely.
Oh, the doctor's back.
We had Michael on the other day, which if you didn't catch it, go back and check it out. It was last week sometime.
Any questions about ketones? And George, you asked a great question, right? If you build up a tolerance to ketones, if you're taking it as much as this Peloton is, and it's a pretty interesting answer. Go back a couple shows, I don't know, 2 or 3 days ago, and
Dr. Hincapie came out with the good questions.
Yeah, you asked some really good questions. Also, the special forces on the ketone train, pretty incredible. Head on over to hvmn.com. Use the promo code THEMOVE20, get you 20% off. I'm playing golf this afternoon, and I'm curious how the ketones help my swing. hvmn.com.
So that's actually a great point, because I was playing tennis yesterday. It was a very serious match. Lost the first set 6-2. Second set, I won 6-4. Third set, we're battling it out. We're tied 3-3. I'm sweating like crazy. I'm hitting the LMNT hard. And you know what? I remembered I had one of these. Hold on. Let me show you. Hold up. I had one of these shots that our boy Michael gave us right over here. And I said, oh, snap. I hit one of these. Third set. And then we'll see you in the douches.
Yeah.
I won 7-5. Let's go.
Booyah to the hoo-ha.
Right there.
He comes home and I'm like, how are you not covered in that ice storm that hit the hail yesterday?
Yeah,
He's like,
really
he played indoors.
Yeah, welcome to the mountains, man. We got rain and all of a sudden hail, like marble-sized hail. Front yard was just, it looked like it had snowed.
A couple other things that we wanted to talk about. Again, you guys are shaking your heads when you see Pogačar sprinting at the end. You're like, why? I mean, again.
And it brings up, there were really 2 races today. They had 13 or 14 minutes. Obviously, you have the breakaway that's competing for the stage win, but then we all knew that there was, in fact, a second race, which was the race for the GC. On a climb that hard, you can easily drop guys, get time back. Pogačar did what he's, I think up until this point, he has not, aside from the sprint to the finish, makes 0 sense, but he had to attack. Vingegaard just
looks good.
I don't see any cracks in this kid's armor.
No,
none.
He looked really amazing, and we brought up a good point last night at dinner. So I want you to say, what would you be doing right now if you're Pogačar on a day like today and the days coming up? You're 220 behind. Of course, you're not very familiar with that position.
Whoa, slow down.
You're not very familiar with that position, but you're 220 down on Vindigo. What are you doing on a day like today?
You got to attack. He did what he was supposed to do. It's just those efforts, and we say this every day, like that effort to the finish line with him right on your wheel makes 0 sense. Like those things.
Oh, the sprint.
Yeah.
He needs to save it for a day when he can get 2 minutes.
But when he attacked, he didn't seem phased that Vingegaard was stuck on his wheel either. He didn't ease up, try to attack again. Sometimes you can kind of slow the pace, pick it up, and see if you can shake him. He just rode tempo.
Well, it's weird.
And these guys are friends. That's another thing I'm really bothered by.
Yeah, I know. Lance hates seeing the hugging it out at the stage.
Oh, geez,
every time he's like, what in the world?
You guys be friends in like 15 years. Don't be friends now.
Yeah.
But you and Ullrich would do a quick gesture.
He wouldn't even
but you
look at
wouldn't
him.
hang out together.
That was just to try to win some fans over something. I didn't mean it. I did not mean that. Like that pat on the back, the handshake, that was bullshit. I did not mean it. I promise you. Now I love the guy now.
Yeah.
Put my hand in the fire for him. But back then I didn't mean that.
That reminds me. Can I ask you about something? Because we are
sportsmanship.
We've been flooded with emails from Germans. I guess there's a newer German documentary about Ullrich out that you're in it.
Well, so
we've seen a lot of references, but I haven't had time to chase
we can find the link and maybe post it on some of the socials. It is in German. It was a 5 or 6 part documentary. It was 2 or 3 hours long, done by ARD, which is like the ABC or the NBC of Germany, in honor of his 25-year anniversary of him winning the Tour in 1997. And I don't do those things. But I don't do interviews, right? I do the interviewing. I don't let anybody else interview me. Not anymore. I'm done. All right.
Peter Attia was the last one done.
Well, Peter's a friend, so all right. Don't back to this. So they were doing this documentary, and Mike Baldinger, one of Jan's friends, asked me if I would sit for it, and I said, "Hey, man, if you guys want me to do it, I'll do it, but only if you want me to do it. I mean, I'm not. I hate these things." And it was amazing. Like the old archival footage of Jan as a kid, and obviously during all the tours, but it is the whole story. I mean, from being a young boy starting to race bikes all the way through all the troubles. It was. I watched all of it, despite being a German. It was amazing.
So hang on. So just going back, if I want you to do something, all I have to say is I really want you to do this. I need to like make a note of this, okay? Because that usually hasn't worked for me in the past. But I got it. I'm writing that down.
Yeah, but it was and you know, I'm glad we're getting a lot of emails about that. We get a lot of questions about Jan, right? And
I just a flood of emails. So I just
cool. And the question always is, look, the whole world knows what he's gone through. And the question's always, how's he doing? I got literally 3 questions about Jan yesterday. And the answer is he's doing great. 100% sober, back on the bike, back in his kids' lives. They're in his life. You know, fingers crossed, day by day, for sure.
One more thing I did want to ask too, because at the end of it, Michael Matthews, I looked at George and I go, was that the best climb of his career? And you were like, yeah, absolutely.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And it made me think to ask George, I mean, you're known for classics, known as sprinting and all-rounder in the Tour. Was there ever a climb where you just like, holy shit, like I was amazing climbing that day, where you just dug deep, something?
Probably Plata Day in 2005. That'd probably be my best climbing day ever. Or other stages when, you know, there wasn't many guys left and I was still there with Lance.
Is that the day Pereira got that new car?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
I don't know what that's. Oh, I got you now.
It's not true, but it's funny. It's not true, but it's funny.
A little payout.
I'll give it to him. As long as it doesn't make the highlights.
That took me a second.
Rewind that.
All right.
But other weird things that happened today is, why is Soler in the breakaway going full gas for a stage win when they still have a great shot of winning this Tour de France? I don't get it. It's like these young guys don't save energy anymore. Everything, Pogacar is sprinting for 8th place today or 10th place or whatever it was. Why? There's no reason for that. I don't get it.
You can ask Johan. Johan will probably get the scoop on that.
Yeah, let's get the scoop on that.
For JB squared.
Yeah, and the other thing of interest is, you know, Geraint Thomas just doing his own thing.
And
he's not far. He and Bardet are not far apart in GC.
He's not.
But he will absolutely destroy him in the time trial. Right. So he's not worried about his time difference over Romain Bardet at all.
But watch out this old diesel engine, y'all. I mean, third weekend Tour de France experience, hasn't been jumping with these crazy attacks, staying within himself. What it looks like he's staying within himself. I mean, he's going to be dangerous in the third week, I think.
I eat my words, man. I did not see it coming. I'm happy for him.
Yeah, for sure.
Both show.
All right, a little Bikes for Kids Uvalde update. If you listened to the show yesterday, you heard that we reached our original goal. You guys are still donating. If you look at that, the goal was 230,000. We're at 238,000, just over that. But here's the update on that. We talked to our friends at Operation Get Out and Mellow Johnny's, and we're going to add to this. We're going to get, with the extra money, we're going to buy some locks for all these bikes.
Right, bike racks.
And build a lot more bike racks at the school. They're expanding the school and combining them, and they need a ton of bike racks. So that's the next step. And I think there's some playground expansion stuff too.
Great.
Getting them outside.
Love
it. Quick shout outs on some donors. Amy and Gary Randolph, about 4 bikes. Thank you. Mike and Lula Saturnia, about 4 bikes. John Scarafiotti, 3 bikes.
You were just
I know. I'm trying. They know who they are. Don Witzel, thank you very much. A couple of good questions for you guys.
I feel like we're forgetting something. Maybe not. Let's keep going. No French stage wins. That's on our note.
Yeah, no French stage wins.
That's
that they're starting to feel all these French teams are starting to feel massive pressure.
You thought Pinot was going to get back in there today. It didn't happen.
Yeah.
Pinot was Johan's pick for outcomes.
But he came in hot. I mean, he came from the group, went by everybody, and ended up third, about 45 seconds behind. So he's clearly got the form. He just needs a little bit of luck and some help in some of these finals.
Cool.
And we got to talk about tomorrow. Tomorrow we're going to do a cool thing with IG Live, supporting one of our partners of the show, Attitude. We might be wearing their pajamas, answering questions at the final 20 to 30 minutes of the stage into Carcassonne.
Yep.
Think about your questions, guys, and tune into We Do Insta, right? Tomorrow morning.
We're going to stream it live on Instagram. That's one of these social things, Instagram Live. Yeah. And we often criticize, they're easy to criticize, but we often criticize these commentators. But in all due respect,
it's tough.
It's hard.
Very hard.
Like, you got to sit there for 4 hours. I would just get quiet. Be like, I don't have anything to say. They have to fill that time. It's got to be. So now we're going to put ourselves right in front of right in the crosshairs. Try to do it.
So I'm going to need you to pay attention. I mean, probably not, stay off the Golf Channel tomorrow while we're doing this Instagram Live.
That's what I was thinking. Can you go 30 minutes without bringing up golf?
No. It's the final day. It'll be the final day of the Open.
So you can ask golf questions too if you want.
Absolutely.
Biking and golf.
All right. So the last 30 minutes of the stage tomorrow. Clarity here.
Yeah.
Ish.
Last
right?
30 minutes.
The camera will be on you guys doing your blow-by-blow.
Correct.
Yep.
Right? Okay.
And the SpongeBob body will be in his pajamas.
Hopefully our head of HR brings the good ham and cheese croissants, so we're ready to go for these Q&As. Courtney, good? All right.
All right. Been listening to the Move post-race shows for years, listening to Lance. From time to time, it sounds like he could have been a trash talker in the peloton. My question to George and Lance is, does trash talking take place in the peloton like in basketball and American football? Enjoying the show. That is Linwood H.
You go for it.
I don't remember much trash talk going
yeah.
on in my day. No, but I definitely talk a lot of trash now.
We know. You got to keep in mind, I mean, in this peloton, there's probably, I'm guessing, 15 different languages.
Yeah.
So it's a little, if everybody spoke one language like they do in American football or basketball, or it might be easier or more common, but it's not. It's not very common. I know that's not a very exciting answer either.
No.
This is interesting because I think you guys even said something when you see the guys standing there post race. It says it looks like the peloton's overall upper body muscle has decreased drastically from George and Lance's era till now. Looking at Jonas Vingegaard in particular, his arms, chest, and shoulders don't seem like they can get any leaner.
Right.
My question is, do these pro riders avoid any activities that could strengthen their upper bodies? Lance and George were fit, but still had upper body muscle. How is it possible for these guys to be so frail in their upper bodies? That's from Cole in Pittsburgh.
I mean, I kind of disagree. I was pretty frail, super skinny upper body. Lance was bigger than most, but also really skinny. They don't want to carry the extra weight. Obviously, muscle weighs a lot and arguably not that useful for being on the bike. So these guys try to stay away from anything that's going to put muscle on their upper body.
Yeah,
but the classic guys and, the Sagans and all these, the Van Aerts, they're bigger and they're much more balanced athletes, and they can do, that's why you see them doing Tour of Flanders and you see Van Aert pulling up these climbs today. He's just a crazy, balanced athlete.
Yep. Yeah. No, there's no need to have any upper body muscle. And this generation is a lot, I think, a lot leaner than our generation. Although, I raced the Tour at about 165 pounds. A guy like Pantani was 130, maybe.
That's about what Vingegaard is.
Well, let's not forget.
He's like 130.
Let's not forget. I mean, these guys, when Vingegaard goes to dinner tonight, apparently they have their food measured to perfection to replace the calories he spent on that stage. I mean, that's how technical it's gotten right now.
No more, no less.
No more, no less, which doesn't seem fun at all.
That's almost like progress, not perfection.
All right, one more here real quick. Please explain to me how the time limit cutoff works. It seems like the factors that determine the cutoff are a bit subjective. Is it up to the race official to determine on a particular day of the race? That's from Patrick in Lafayette.
They're not
California.
subjective. Although if there was a day, and I'll try to get into the details of how they calculate the time cut. If there was a day where, I'm just going to say it, I hate this part. If there was a day that 30 riders got eliminated, my sense is they would waive the time cut. They don't want to lose 30 guys. A time cut is a time cut. What the fuck do we have it for? Mm-hmm. If you miss the time cut, see in the douches, okay? For real. A la casa.
This is coming from somebody that's never been in that position, so I wouldn't take it too serious. If you're back there in that group of 50 and you're just dying to make it to the finish and you're going, let's stay together, y'all, and they'll let us all back in. I've been there, so I'm, a bit more
I think
sensitive.
I think they should
to this
kick.
issue.
I think they should kick every single one of them out. But Johan will know better. But they break it up for sort of flat days, medium days, mountain days, and it's based on a percentage. So the total time of the winner's time, there is some percentage based on the difficulty of the stage that calculates or gets you to what is the time cut.
Not only that, but it's also the percentages based on the average speed of the day.
Correct.
Well. So the difficultness of the stage and the average speed get calculated in. And there's some guys that are absolute experts on the time cuts. Like some of these sprinters, they have the math figured out, the exact time. They know that they're going to probably most likely lose on the climb, and then they'll know they'll hold steady on the downhill or maybe make up a little bit of time. They got it all figured out, these guys.
You know what else they have figured out? Because when they're in the gruppetto and they're trying to make the time cut, guess what is not back there? TV cameras. So there's a lot of car holding going on.
Those sticky bottles. You know.
I mean, these boys end up at the end of the stage like their left or right arm is like a foot longer. They've been holding on so long.
Yeah, for sure. We haven't pulled up tomorrow's profile, have we?
No, we haven't.
And we should.
Yeah, we should.
This 202 kilometers.
With this heat, I mean, Matt White just wrote me and said tomorrow is going to be 100 degrees Fahrenheit.
Oh, my God.
100 degrees.
So you got 202K. Again, Massif Central, slow, difficult roads. Finally making their way down towards the Pyrenees. But look at that profile. There is not a kilometer that is flat. This is a very difficult day. Nothing good can happen if you're a GC guy. You just got to stay hydrated, stay cool, and get through this stage without anything bad happening. This is a nasty stage.
Nasty stage. Also, usually, I mean, I would say 7 times out of 10 when you finish in Carcassonne, you're going to hit some mad winds coming close to the coast there. So there could be, even though it's on paper it shouldn't be much of a GC day, but stuff can happen. That wind can make it really, really stressful and dangerous for some of these riders.
Yeah, I mean, if Inga goes, he's got Wout van Aert. Just stay right there.
Stay right
could
there.
do anything.
Yeah.
Amazing. All right. Anything else?
No, just send any questions into the move at wedo.team.
TheMove@wedo.team. Oh, wait. No, there is one more thing. I thought, how are we doing on the bottles? Vote for Lance.
Oof, pulling away.
Okay, so any purchase over at thefeed.com
Guys,
slash
come
the
on.
move, thefeed.com slash any purchase, and you can get your own customized bottle. We've been mixing it up this year, but the real story here is Lance, 692 votes, George, 670.
You really are. You actually are. You got something going on. There's some sort of reverse psychology, because a friend of mine actually said yesterday, you know what? I listened to the show and I actually didn't believe it was Lance because he was being so nice that I had to pull it up on YouTube and watch it to confirm that it was you.
Right, it's me.
I mean, I don't understand what's happening here.
I'm
I just
New
realized
Lance.
I haven't voted yet.
Do you know? Come on, JB. He's getting away.
He's getting away.
Here's the thing. This is the truth. All right. I don't care. I don't care what happens. I don't care if I lose. George cares. So if that's not an endorsement for you folks to vote for George, I don't know what is. I do not care. All right. I am just here to play bass and help with it.
Be. All right.
All right. Thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll see you tomorrow talking about that stage, the hot and hilly, relentless stage tomorrow. See y'all tomorrow. Thanks for tuning in.
See y'all tomorrow.